Okay, today I want to make a video about reverse osmosis filter for drinking water. And recently I find out that my filter start to leak, and I couldn't figure out what it is, and I did some research, and then I finally find out what the cause was, and is pretty mysterious. So that's the reason why I want to make a video out of this and hopefully helping other people. So this part is the faucet of the reverse osmosis, or people call it RO filter. So the drinking water come from here. When I turn on this, the water come out, and then there's an indicator light here that's flashing. It's telling me that it's about time for me to change the filter. Okay, under the sink there are more plumbing underneath, and so this part is the filter. It has a hood that makes it more beautiful. It will look like this when it's installed. Okay, like this. And I want to take off the hood. That's only for decoration, and I can show you how the filter works. So this is from the water, incoming water from here, and it go through this. Let me see if I should turn on. Okay, so the filter, the incoming water come from the green line, go into this first filter, which is the pre-filter. So the water will go in, remove debris and things like that, and then go into the second filter. This is the workhorse of the filter. This is called a reverse osmosis filter. This one is a pre-filter, this one is a post-filter. Both of them are I think regular filter. This one is the reverse osmosis filter, which costs a lot of money, maybe $35 a piece, something like that. So when the water come in through the green line, go in here, filter the debris, and then come into this part. So inside this reverse osmosis filter, there's a membrane in there. Water come in one side, pass through the membrane to go to the other side. So one side will be the filter, will be the clean water, which later get into this post. Actually, this after this filter, it go through the yellow line into a reservoir, so that you have some, because the filtering process take a long time. So if you wait for it to filter it real time, you will stand in the faucet for a long time to get a cup of water. So this reservoir is to save up enough that you can use it on demand, and then when you are after you walk away, the filter will continue to work and fill it up again. So the filtering will have the clean water, the filter water come to the yellow line, go to the reservoir, and when you turn on the faucet above the sink, then it will draw water. So when it draw water, it will draw from the reservoir. It will probably go back up the same way, but this time it will go into this post filter. After it filter the water one more time, and then it will go to this blue line, which go back up into the faucet here, and then come out here. Okay, so that's how the clean water side work. Okay, as I said earlier, there's a membrane in this middle filter. On one side of the filter is the clean water, which came out from the blue line, as I said before. On the other side of the membrane is the dirty water, which is the dirty part is didn't go through, and then it will stay on this side. Now, the filter don't trap this dirty stuff forever. It will get washed away by the mechanism. So what it would do is that after you draw the water out, and then when the filter is doing, after you walk away, the filter is doing the cleanup work, it will actually take water again from the green line here, and actually it will flush the dirty side out. Now when you flush it, the dirty water will come out into the red line. The red line come into here, go out and go up to the above. So the red line, the dirty water will go to the red line and come up here, and then it will actually go through a place called the air gap. If I show you over here, there's a gap somewhere here. This part is sealed in, so I cannot say take it apart and show you the inside, but I believe what happened is that the red line, as you see the red line coming out, and it will pass through an air gap and then come down to the black line here. You see the black tube. Okay, put it back. So when the dirty water comes down to the black tube from here, okay, it will go down to the drain. Okay, now first of all, let me try to explain why you need an air gap, right? Because if the red line and the black line go directly without a gap, then you may form a siphon. That means under certain conditions, your filter may suck dirty water or air from this part back into your filter. So that's why the air gap is very important. And the air gap is somewhere here. As I said before, I cannot show you. It's somewhere over here. As I show you, there's a hole, but then what it does is that it provides this separation of the two lines, the red line and the black line. So now let me talk about what happened recently to me. Is that I noticed water dripping over here from the red line, the blue line, and the black line. All have water coming down and drip over the floor of under my sink. So I first of all initially couldn't figure out what it was, but then I later found out that because of the gap that I talk about and the outlet of this black line going to the drain. So I figure out, what if this part is clogged? Then the water will get back up and it's not coming out on this side. So where can the water go? The dirty water will go out on the try to get up to the red line and couldn't get down the black line. Then it will start to drip over here, all over here. So the symptom is not very severe because this part is not 100% blocked. It's like partially blocked. So when the filter try to get rid of the dirty water from this side, say this side of the filter, the dirty water try to get out, then it couldn't get rid of it fast enough. More water go out on the red line more than this black line can take, because this side is not 100% full. So the effect is that some water will start to drip from the black or the red line, drip all over the bottom of this under the sink. So that was the symptom. So how did I fix it? It's not that difficult. All I did is unscrew this part, just twist this, right? As the, you say, the righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? So you just, no, there's a, open here is blocked a little bit. So what happened is, you just untwist this. Okay, take it off like this, and then you can see this is a inside over here, and you can see the black tube actually go out on this part. So earlier today when I opened it up, there was a lot of gunk in there. It's all dark brown mud-like deposit over in this area. So somewhere over here, half filled. So this cup is like half filled with mud. So that explains why there's a backup. The backup caused the leak, the dripping all over here. So what I did is I just use a spoon or a stick or something. Just scrape the mud off and wash it, clean it up, and now everything is flowing smoothly and there's no more dripping. So that explains what happened, and the fix is pretty easy. And this is not only the only part that have mud in there. I also noticed there are a lot of mud in this area. So there's a divider here that the dirty water go out this way, and the divider kind of separate the flow of water from above also. So the water come down, and there's a lot of mud stuck in this area also. So by the way, this thing that the filter is like 4 years old, and this is the first time I cleaned this part, and that caused the if I have cleaned this part every year, probably I would never actually seen. I have never seen I will not see the leaking at all, because this thing was the mud was built up over 4 years and it's causing all this leaking. So I would say if you do it every year to clean it up, it will save you the misery, and you probably don't need to call a plumber either. This is very easy, just hand tight it. You don't even have to do much on this. So another thing is that while you are at it, probably it's a good idea to unscrew this part. Okay, so I don't want to do it now, but I can just point to how it's done. So unscrew this part, and also unscrew this part over here. This one, and then all the way over here. So there are 3 rings that you can unscrew. This one, and this one. So after you unscrew all this part and this part can come off, and you can wash it, go to your bathroom or whatever, and then wash the mud out of this T-joint. That will save you another. You can have a good operation of the filter for another year or so. And also, while I've cleaned up this thing, when I unscrew this part and this part, I found that a lot of smelly gunk is at the bottom of this U-shape. So it's a good idea, just dump the dirty stuff into the toilet and flush it down, and clean up the pipe and put it back on. It's not difficult to do. No tool required. So everything is, can be done by just hand tightening the ring. So So to recap, what happened is that the symptom I see was water dripping down these tubes, and then I later figured out that it was due to the water backing up because mud built up here, and then the water got built up up the black tube, and then the wastewater trying to escape from the red tube cannot be empty fast enough, so there's the backup caused the water to drip down, so it come down all over here. So now I pass it back under the tank just to make sure, you know, in case in the future it leaks again, it won't damage the wood of the cabinet. So yeah, as I said before, my filter need to be changed too. You know, I change it every year, but this time even if I change the filter, these filters, it wouldn't fix the problem that is happening over here. I didn't notice about this problem until I saw the symptom of dripping water. So over here is where you want to fix the problem. And over here, the filter, when you replace the filter, you get better tasting water. But as I say, the filters are pretty expensive. So it's like the whole set is like $70. The middle one alone is like $35 by itself. The other tools are cheaper because these are regular filter, carbon. I think it's carbon filter with active carbon in it. So it removes the taste of the water. But this one is the reverse osmosis filter, which actually do the dirty job, removing all the impurity and things like that. So okay, let me see. There's one thing that I can show you is the user manual. Over here, I can show you what I said before. So as I said before, the clean water come from the green line, go into the pre-filter, go to the reverse osmosis filter, and the clean water save into the tank. Okay, and then there are two sides to the membrane. One, the clean side go to the tank, the dirty side go out into, let me see, the dirty side will go out into the red line, which is over here, the red tube. And then after it passed by the air gap, it will drain down to the black tube, which go down to the sink. So this is how the water flow on the dirty side, go that way. And the clean side will go to the tank, and then when you turn on the faucet here, then the water will go back out, pass through the last step, post filter, make the, I think it's active carbon filter. So the water come down here, and then go out the blue tube, then come down into your cup. So this is how you the filter work. This actually show a different diagram in situation that people don't install this filter under the sink. If they install this filter in the basement, then this arrangement is a little bit different. So over here you can see the green line will supply the water into the filter, and then the clean water will go to the yellow line into the tank. And when you turn on the faucet, the water will be drawn through the blue line up to the kitchen, one floor above. Now the red line, in this case, it works differently. In this case, the red line will just hang down into some drain on the floor. And the black line is not even used. The black tube is actually not connected to the faucet above. So the faucet will only take the blue tube in this arrangement, and then the red line will drop to the floor. And also over here you can see they tell people to make sure that when you are draining the red tube and draining the water from the red tube, you have to make sure that you give a air gap here. There's an air gap between the receiving pipe. There's an air gap between the drain, something like that, right? As I explained before, if you don't form an air gap, then in certain situations the red tube may suck water back up, then it will contaminate the whole system if you don't form the air gap. So the air gap is important. But in this arrangement over here in my setup, I think the air gap is somewhere hidden inside here. As I said, I can't show you because I cannot take this apart. So the red tube come up here, pass by the air gap, and then go down the black tube. Now, as I said before, if the black tube is not flowing freely, then there's a backup, right? So the red tube water come up, try to pass the air gap, go down the red tube. If it doesn't come out, then it's supposed to come. Actually, I believe if it operates correctly, the excess water should come out from this hole and run into my kitchen counter, but it didn't. The water actually come up and then go back down and drip along all these three tubes. The water keep dripping underneath. So that was the problem. So as I said before, the only thing that you need to clean up is this part, the end of the black tube. Over here, you just remove the buildup, clean the passage, and while you're at it, clean this part and clean this part also. Then you will have another year of operation. And also, of course, you need to replace the filter, this filter every year too. And after you replace the filter, you can reset the timer on this. So this indicator light that's flashing is not actually any advanced device to detect how clean your filter is. It's just a timer. It's a clock that blink. I think it's blink every 6 months or so. So if you do not use too much water, then you can change your filter once a year. If you use the water every day, probably you should change it half a month, as this indicator would suggest. So whenever this blink, you should replace a set of filters. So to reset this counter, all you need to do is to take out this screw. So you unscrew this one, make sure you don't lose it, put it aside, and then this part can pop up like that. You just push it up, and then you will find a button battery inside. You just remove the battery and put it back in. Then it will reset itself. Then it will start running for another 6 months, and then it will blink again. So this is how you can reset this warning indicator. So that's about it. So let me show you how usually you turn on the faucet to let water out. So this is a very clean water, it's all filtered. And after you drain some of the water, then sometimes you will hear that your filter start to kick in more, and it is filling the tank again. And after it fills the tank, it will do that cleaning flush cycle. Then the water will come, dirty water will come out on the red tube, go up to the air gap, and come back down into the black tube over here and down the drain. So that's about it, and I hope this gives you enough information to fix your leaky filter. If you have a question, you can leave a comment below, and I will try to answer as much as possible. Oh, by the way, I'm not a plumber, but just an amateur, so hopefully this will help a lot of homeowners to fix the problem. Thank you. Bye.